I think in those days, and actually it's still true now, really, we've never been worried about having songs because me and Doug both, and Jerry, are in a constant state of always writing. And we always have so much stuff that will never be heard and never be on records that's not anything we ever think about. When it came to the third album, that was the beginning of finding ourselves settling into something that we thought we were. And so we found ourselves in a catch-22 that started beginning with that record. Certain musical decisions were made that, no, we shouldn't do that because that's not King's X. I should never have ever thought that, ever. We slowly but surely, not knowing it, through the world we were suddenly finding ourselves in. You know, we're going on stage around that time playing in domes with AC/DC for 35,000 people, you know, and nightly, and you know, all over Europe sold out, all over America sold out, every show everywhere. And everything we did had that kind of insane mania around it at that time. We were all over the charts and the radio, and the world changed all of a sudden. The way people, friends treated us, people showing up at our houses, everything changed. Even though that was our time of great success, it's not a time I look back on as fondly as the time before that, actually. But it's what it was, you know, and I'm glad that we had some success. From very early on, there really wasn't anything else I wanted to do, seriously, until motorcycles came along. And that's my dad's fault too, actually, because he was the co-owner of a motocross track in Macomb, Mississippi that had the biggest 8 jumps of any track in the South, was its claim to fame. And I used to go out there on that track when nobody's around, and I could just you know, do some crazy stuff out there all by myself, not worrying about other people. And once that happened, I had competition in my life of what I really wanted to do. I have to say that I love motorcycles a lot. I raced supercross and motocross well into my mid-30s. While King's X was touring and doing stuff, I was actually racing in the local circuit around here and keeping it quiet because I'd get in trouble for it, you know, because of the danger. I actually recorded the Faith, Hope, Love album with electrodes hooked up to my back and laying in a lawn chair, padded lawn chair with extra pads. I'm sitting here doing the It's Love album, literally laying like that because of motorcycle injury. I recorded the whole Ear Candy album with 4 broken bones in my left lower foot from a motorcycle injury that had just happened right before we went in the studio. So I couldn't walk. And had an 8-month recovery and had to go to physical therapy and all that stuff. This was happening while King's X is out doing stuff. And I tell people all the time, if I could have been better at it, nobody would have ever heard me play guitar because it truly became my passion at one point. But I also had the realization that I wasn't ever going to be at the top of the game in motocross. It was just a passion that I loved, just like thousands of other people like me that do it. And I finally realized that one day and let it go. Our 4th album did do well for us. If I remember correctly, actually was our biggest selling album of all time. Just barely over the 3rd album. And if I got that wrong, if I have that wrong, it's the flip-flop, but both of them are almost identical in sales. Both of them were our 2 biggest albums. Dogman did well, but not as well. It got a lot more radio play on FM rock radio, and things were still ramping up for us, you know, and going well for us, and we were doing some big shows at that time. Actually, after Dogman is when we lost control of our direction. I can only tell from my side of things. I'm sure Doug and Jerry have a different story from their view and what they were going through at the time and all, but for me, that's when the pressure hit from Atlantic. Because we had had all these albums that were successful, but not successful enough as far as they were concerned. They wanted platinum, you know, they wanted multi-platinum. At least we thought our day was coming, because we weren't selling millions. You know, we had a really solid following, and we were selling out places where we went, and things were good, but we weren't, you know, on that level that they wanted to see things on. So when Ear Candy came along, it's the first time that I ever felt the pressure of having to write singles, you know, having to make something that would get on the radio. That had always been so philosophically not where I'm at or want to be or care to be. I just didn't want to be a sellout, and it felt like we either had to be or we were going to lose our deal. That was the one and only time in our career that I felt outside influence to not do whatever we want to do. After that, we ended up going to Metal Blade Records. Both head guys at Metal Blade basically said, you know, we don't want you to do anything other than exactly what you want to do. And we were like, oh, thank God, you know, we can relax again. And it's been like that ever since, you know. So there's only been one brief time we ever had to deal with that. The people that we see on TV all the time are the people who are working the hardest. That's the only thing I can tell you. It's not like some lottery winning gift that some people get. I mean, yeah, you get lucky with a song here or there and people's career get started that way and everything, but I can promise you those people are doing everything it takes for that to happen when you get that shot, which means they are working themselves to death over it. It is a who gets there first business, if there ever was one. You know, you can't ever let up. You have to keep working, keep recording, keep putting things out, keep contacts, which is all good. It's wonderful. It's just like any business, but it's a business that is driven ultimately at first by art. So it has a few other considerations, but it still is business. You know, it's survival.